I start our session? Are you all ready?
Yes, sir. Can start.
Okay, jap. I cannot hear you. Arifudin, can you speak again?
Can, sir. Can dengar.
Okay. Right. Sorry for being late. Alright, because as you know, I'm not that well. Right, but I'll try to finish all the exercises. Alright, so we have just a little bit of exercise to finish. Exercise 23, 24, and 25. Right, so let's look at exercise 23, Python file handling. Okay, so let me clear up the uh, the output here. Okay, so let's look at Python file handling. First, what is Python file handling? So it's an important part of any application or any web application that you want to create, especially in Python. You need to know how to open file for creating, reading, and updating and deleting files. So you can have a better um, process lah, a better way of handling your data. Alright, so later you want to load up data from somewhere else, and then from the data that you loaded up, um, you want to open it, write to it, or probably edit your data. Alright, so to handle files, right? So you need to know the key function for working with files in Python, right? So the main function is called the open function. So the open function takes two parameters, file name and mode. So imagine the open is a function, okay, and then it should receive two parameter, which is the file name that you want to open and the mode you're going to open that file, right? So there are basically four main different modes or method for opening a file, which is read, append, write, and create. So these four modes have its key value, which is read is represented by the key value R, append is represented by A, and continued by write, uh, which is represented by W, and create is represented by X. Okay, so all these modes has different how do I say it, different process, okay, to it. So R only opens the file for reading, okay, and if you try to open a file that doesn't exist, it will raise an error, okay. And append, you open a file for appending. If the file doesn't exist, it will create one for you, so it won't raise an error, okay. And then same with write, okay, you open a file for writing. However, if you open an already existing file with write mode, right, it will replace that file, okay, meaning that whatever that is inside the file earlier will be cleared up, okay. So it will also create the file if the file doesn't exist, okay. And then the last one, create, okay. So you usually use this to create a specific file, and it will return an error if the file already exists, okay. So you usually use create if you're not sure a file name has already been created with the same name, okay. So you want to check, so you use create, okay. So if there's already a file with the same name, it will throw an error. So in addition, you can specify the file, if the file should be handled as binary or text mode with these two key values lah. T for text and B for binary. But we normally won't use this. Okay, so there's a high chance that you will only be using the four modes that I've mentioned on top. Alright. So there's a syntax. Okay. So a syntax to open or a file for reading. So this is the syntax. To open a file for reading is enough to specify the name of the file. So you don't have to put the mode. Okay. And actually by default, if I'm not mistaken, by default is read. Okay, so I'm not sure whether we have demo file yet, but let's try it out. So see, so no file name demo file. Okay, so meaning that it is true that the default mode is read. Okay, so if the file does not exist yet, we can actually create one. Okay, so meaning I've already created one lah. Okay, so if I read it's not readable yet. Okay, let me open it again with read mode. Okay, now the file exists, but it has nothing inside. Okay, it's a blank file. Okay, so that's why if I put f.read, it doesn't do anything. So assume we have a following file, okay, located in the same folder. So this is the demo file that contain this isi ini. Okay, I'm copying this because we don't have the demo file yet. Okay, so I'm going to skip this part first, and I'm going to the right line, the right file. Let me see. Mana tadi sekejap this one, right file. So you can actually write files here. Okay, so I open to write to the demo file. Okay, and then I'm just going to paste the this one. Okay, and if you want to create a new line, it should be backslash n. Sorry. Okay, so that should do it. So we return to the file. So we'll go back to this later. Okay, as I explain, you will understand. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so let's get back to reading file. Okay. So see here, this is the read mode, alright, and we are opening the demo file that I've just created just now with the content, and then f.read is a method to return whatever that is inside the demo file. So if I run this, so this is the content of the demo file. Okay, f.read. So Python has a set of method available for file objects. So these are the method. Okay, you can try it out later. Okay. And then the next example is that sorry, if you know the location of the file in the server itself, right? So you can put the full location of the file. So I know the location of my file, but this is a different demo file that I've created. Okay. This is not the same as the one that I just created just now. Okay, this is another demo file, right? Okay. So the content is the same. Okay, and then the location of the file is similar to the location of my computer lah. Okay, in if let's say you are running this on a server, okay, you should know the full path of the file, okay, in order for you to access something like this. Otherwise, I would suggest you to use to open the demo file in the same folder as the Jupyter notebook that you are using. Okay, so the demo file should sit in the same folder, then you shouldn't be a problem. So if you use Google Colab, you can browse through the file. Alright, so you need to know the URL of the file location, then you shouldn't have any problem opening the file using the notebook that you are running. But you have to be very careful with the path lah. Okay, so read only parts of the file. By default, the read method reads or returns the whole text. Kan? Bila kita run tadi, dia return semua sekali apa yang terkandung dalam file tu. But you can also specify how many characters you want to return. Okay, for example, like this one, instead of just writing read as it is, I put number inside the parameter of the method. Okay, I put number 9, so it actually reads the content by character. So it reads the first 9 character, which is hello WE. Okay, so white space is also counted. Okay, if you count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 as usual, 9 won't be counted. Okay. You can also read lines, okay, by using the read line method. Okay, read line meaning that instead of just reading the whole content of the file, you read by line. So this is how I do it lah. So this one. So if let's say sorry, so you can actually use a loop. Okay, this one is a loop. So you open a demo file in X, and then for each item in X you print Y. So each item is each line lah. Dia akan keluarkan each line. The same thing if you uh, do it something like this. Okay, F dot read line. It will read the line one by one. If I remove this, it will only read 2 lines lah. Okay. So I have a this is an example. I didn't give you this. Okay. Okay. Did you have on your side kan? Saya nak tanya, you all ada yang ini tak? Open a-student.csv ni. Do you have this on your exercise? Cuba buka sekejap punya Python exercise. Boleh tengok tak? Are you opening the file?
On the way, sir, on the way.
Okay, tak apa. Nanti bagi tahu saya. Alright, because if you don't have, I want to give you this. Yang ini, kalau tak silap saya, is an answer for the final exam. There's something to do with opening up a CSV file and then calculating the BMI of a student based on whatever that is inside the file tu. Ni kan. Ni student tu punya data. Okay, and then BMI dia tak payah kira, return je. Nampak tak? something like this. Okay, so this is from the file. This is from what was processed lah. Dia ada function untuk get BMI and then sort by name, nampak tak ni? Sort by name of a student. So ada, this is the inside of the student punya information tu. So ini pun sama juga. So ini lain ni tak perafal. Ni apa tu, nanti saya bagilah. Okay, kalau you all tak ada. So by calling read line 2 times, you can read the 2 first line. Right. Yang ini sama macam atas tadi tu lah. Okay. And then the rest is quite similar. Okay. Yang ni again it's the same thing. Instead of using read line, or instead of using a read method, right? So kita pakai loop. Saya dah tunjuk dekat atas tadi tu. Again, this is read line, tapi yang ini dia ada f.close. Okay, f.close ni penting, okay, because walaupun saya tak buat tadi, okay, you should always close your file in some cases due to buffering. Changes made to file may not show up until you close the file. So sometimes dia lambat, okay, walaupun you dah run kan, tapi bila you check, especially if the apa tu, the process takes a very big process, okay, you need to close the file so that you can reflect whatever that you update to the file. Okay. Alright, so after seeing this, you already know that the file is written as shown lah. Okay. Okay, sekarang ni saya nak tunjuk kalau kita append. Right, so now I want to change the right key to append. Append, what does append do? Okay, so nampak tak now? Good luck, now the content has more line. So this is line 3. So I want to create line 4 with a new one. So every time I run, it will create a new content for the file because I'm using append 6. Okay, so it opens the file and append. Okay. However, okay, if you use write, okay, write will wipe out everything. Kalau saya run ni kan, new content of the demo file. So bila kan kalau saya run kat atas ni, nampak tak? Dia punya isi dia jadi macam ni. New content of the demo file. So whatever that was written earlier on is wiped out. Okay. Sebab kita pakai write. So you have to be very careful if you want to write to a file to either use an append key or a write key. Okay. So kalau write, dia akan remove whatever that was created earlier and add a new one. Maknanya dia akan start fresh lah. Okay. So apa-apa yang you dah buat sebelum ni kepada file tu, dia akan hilang. Tapi kalau you nak save the previous content, okay, so you use the append mode, right? So to create a new file in Python, use open method with one of the following parameter. You can use X, A, and W. So both append and write won't return an error if the file does not exist. It will create one for you. However, the X mode, okay, will create a file, but it will return an error if the file already exists. Okay, cuma contoh dia macam ni, demo file.txt tu ada kan. So kalau saya create the error lah, okay, sebab demo file tu dah ada. Demo file 1 pun ada kalau tak silap saya. Tu demo file 2 pun ada. Kelas-kelas yang lepas kan saya buat. Okay, so kalau saya nak buat random 56 contohnya, tak ada kan. So dia buatkan untuk you demo file yang baru ni lah. So create new file if it does not exist. I can use write. Okay, write pun create a demo file juga. So I won't run that. So you can also delete a file. I can delete demo file. Demo file 1 tu I delete lah. Remove. But I have to import OS first. So it uses the os.remove. Okay, remove the files that was created in the directory that you created lah. So what if the file doesn't exist anymore? It doesn't matter, right? So as many times okay, see, dia delete, sorry. So kalau file tu tak ada, dia akan return window error. Okay, the file cannot find the specific file demo file.txt because it doesn't exist anymore and it has been removed from the directory. So you can check actually before you delete. Okay, you can check whether the file exists or not using the os.path.exist name of file, and if the file is there, it will be removed. Otherwise, it just will return the file doesn't exist. Okay, so let's see if I have the demo file 5. No, 5 doesn't exist. About 4. See, 4 exists and will be removed. And it actually return an error because I remove a different one. So you need to have the same one and it will be removed. So demo file 4 is also removed. Okay. I think the previous one we created is 52, right? See? I know. So that's 54. Apa tadi yang saya hentam tadi? 56. Sorry, 56. 56. Forgot. 56. What? Demo file 56. Oh, see? Nampak tak? This is why there's a reason we need to close our file. Kita tengok naik atas balik. So 56 is actually currently in use. Mana tadi 56 tadi tu? Let me see the demo file. Kejap ni dah tak ingat dah kat mana. Jangan, tak apa, relax. Ni open kan. F.close lah. Saya edit lah. So dah close. Supposedly tu boleh delete. Tu. Okay. Again, this shows a good example of why you must close your file after opening it. Alright, because later a different application wanted to access that file, so it don't have the permission because the one that you are opening is still currently using that file. Alright, so an efficient way of handling file is to actually close it after you have already finished using it. Alright, so you can also remove directory. Kalau remove directory method ni, if you know the folder, you can use remove directory. I don't think I have the folder. See, and it can only remove an empty folder, right? So you can try it out yourself later. So you can create a folder inside the same directory as your IPython notebook. Okay, and you should see that it removes the folder.